Good afternoon, Tampa Bay. Here we are back again at the World International Headquarters of the DuPont Registry. I'm Tom DuPont, publisher of the DuPont Registry, Tampa Bay. And we have a very special guest with us today. Been in the headlines all over the papers lately, Ben Mallah. Welcome, Ben.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here.
So, I mean, everybody knows about you. You're a big real estate guy. Read about you in the paper, see on YouTube. But maybe today we can find out some interesting facts about Ben Mallah and life that people don't know about. Not that kind of facts, sorry. We'll deal with the straight up stuff. So tell me, where did Ben Mallah come from?
Born and raised in New York City.
New York City.
3 out of the 5 boroughs. Every borough, but never the Bronx and never Staten Island.
So you got kicked out of each one, or you?
Pretty much. And then at the age of 17, I was literally asked to leave the city.
So you struck out on your own?
Pretty much.
I was kind of asked to leave Wilmington, Delaware. There wasn't much for me to do there. They thought maybe you could go find something else to do somewhere. I'm sure it wasn't quite the same story. How'd you end up in Clearwater, Florida? That's a mystery.
Make a long story short, my father told me not to make any plans on my 17th birthday, and he took me to the recruiter's office and signed me away to join the Army.
The Army?
And it was probably the best thing that he or I ever could have done. Pretty much, really saved my life. And it got me out of New York City. Then from there I went to Germany and spent a few years there in the Army. I actually dipped and dabbed a little hustling apartments to GIs, living off base. And then the Army sent me to California, and that's where I really got into real estate. I got a job getting $50 a month off my rent to pick up garbage around the building for the owner. And then I started doing more and more to help him out, and I liked property management, and I was pretty good at it, and he was making more money. So he offered me a job to not re-enlist in the Army, and I stayed working for him, and then eventually grew. And in 2004, we both decided to come to Florida because he wanted to retire, and we came here in 2004, 3 really. Started buying some properties. I was commuting back and forth from San Francisco, and then he retired, and I bought him out, and we love it here. This is
history.
Closest to heaven I think you'll get living anywhere around.
And most of your real estate investments in the greater Tampa Bay area?
No, we do business all up and down the state of Florida. We used to go outside the state and do different projects in Texas, but it got too hard to manage. So right now I've limited everything to the state of Florida. But we have hotels we're rehabbing in Fort Lauderdale. We've got a hotel in Daytona Beach. We've got 3 hotels in Orlando. We've got Clearwater Beach Hotel on the Strip here. We got 3 at the Tampa Airport. So we kind of got in the hotel business, even though I was always in the apartment business. I mostly did apartments for many years, and then it got difficult with the market to find value in an apartment deal. So the girl in the family decided she was going to go into the hotel business. So she got a master's here locally in hospitality, and now we're in the hotel business. So we do everything. We do apartments. We do a lot of affordable housing. We do shopping centers. We just bought a shopping center by Raymond James Stadium, right a block from there, and we have one on Missouri here in Clearwater with some pretty big names in it. So we're kind of diversifying right now.
It's a good thing to do in today's environment. You never know which sector is going to be up and which is going to be down, and you can take advantage of it. And the mantra for most people in real estate is make your profit on the way in, buy low, and then when it's time to move on, don't be married to it. Everything's got a price. I see the smile. Absolutely.
You make your money the day you buy the deal.
So give us a little bit of a story, since we know everybody's heard it already, about Ryan Howard's house. I mean, you just happened to like it, looked at a couple of houses, and...
Honestly, I thought it was Ron Howard, the guy from Happy Days' house, until I went to the bowling alley and I see a picture of a guy that didn't look like Ron Howard in a baseball uniform. So it's definitely a very unique and a great house, and I believe I've gotten good value on it at the purchase.
It's an extraordinary location.
It was really a downsize move.
Downsize.
It was downsizing in a weird way, because we always had a house near the coastal, because, if you want a boat, you need a house near the coastal, and, so we had a house near the coastal, and then, of course, my wife likes to go to the beach. And I'm not schlepping all that stuff to the beach, so we bought a house on the beach. So now, instead of having 2 houses, we only have 1. I don't need a coastal, but that's okay.
Okay, importantly, the DuPont Registry Luxury Living Tampa Bay has a real estate section in it, so we want to get those houses in the pages of the DuPont Registry.
I told the agents right away, list them there, put them where they belong.
I'll check when we're done. I'll see if I'm sure we have 1, but boy, we'd sure like to have both of them.
Well, you should.
Enough
because
commercialism there.
The
that's
price
not
of the
fair.
commissions they're going to make, they can afford to do some marketing.
I guess they went commission happy after you bought this one.
I think both agents that collected a commission on that deal, I don't know if they're back from their world trip yet.
I'm sure they'll take some time off. What was the most unique feature of that house that you thought, okay, this is the spot? Or was it too many to mention?
There's a lot. I mean, my son always dreamed when we go away to a hotel. He always said, "Oh, I wish we had a house at the lazy river." I never dreamed we'd actually have a house at the lazy river. And actually, the lazy river is going to make me not so lazy, because it's so long with the trail that it's great exercise. So now I can actually lose some weight.
So swimming laps is swimming circles.
It's kind of like a trail. You go under the house and around, and I'm going to turn the pumps off so they don't push me so much, so I get some exercise. But I did 5 laps yesterday, and I was beat. I slept like a baby.
That's great.
It's going to cost a fortune to keep it warm.
So what did Ryan Howard leave behind for you that you really liked?
He didn't leave any memorabilia except I got an empty trophy room, and I have no trophies. He left he left it fully furnished practically.
Really?
Fully furnished, so that was really nice. And then they had excellent taste. Everything was very high quality. So I estimate, it was several $100,000 of furniture minimum
Wow.
there. The bowling alley is really cool.
Left the bowling balls?
Except they didn't have my shoe size. I gotta go find, the shoe size wasn't big enough. I left the balls, the pins, everything. The house was like ready to just start sleeping in.
I don't think they were ever there that much, but it certainly took a long time to build. So it's built like a fortress. I know that. I've been
Built
by
very
there on the
well.
boat and been by on the car, and you just look up. It's fabulous.
Built very
So-
well. We should have went and did a tour there today.
I'd love a tour.
Maybe we could do that the next time you have an opening. We can go do a tour there.
That would be great. Well, I saw one picture in the news media going about. Matter of fact, you were in Forbes magazine, or Ryan Howard was in Forbes magazine.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
hung on that coattail or
Great
uniform.
coattails, yeah. But I saw a picture, baseball gloves chair, pair of chairs in a little recreation room that looked like a baseball glove. I said,
He took
that's. You took them out?
No, he took them.
He took them.
Chairs?
Yeah, like a comfortable sit down, comfortable.
No.
One of the pictures in Forbes.
I only got the
was.
traditional stuff. I didn't get any of the baseball stuff.
I probably
Except
could've
the
told
ceilings, some of the ceilings, what do you call it, vestibule?
Yeah.
The way the ceiling goes up and has glass, or when the
yeah.
ceiling goes up another level, like just to be decorative, is it a vestibule?
No, something like that.
Something like that.
Somebody who's watching, send that note in to us.
It's like you have the ceiling,
Like
but
a
then you
big
have a big
atrium.
circle, and then you have a higher ceiling that
Like a big atrium,
widow's
two-story
point,
atrium with
whatever.
a sunlight in the roof.
Didn't all the DuPont mansions had them?
None of them are that big, and they're not on the water.
So anyway, it's shaped as a baseball in there. There's some architectural stuff that's like kind of baseballish, like some of the carpets are like baseball diamonds and stuff. But
Wow.
he didn't leave any. Oh, there is in the bowling alley. There's a big picture of him pitching or batting. He was a batter, right?
Yeah. First baseman and a batter, big hitter.
There's a big picture of him batting at the bowling alley. So when you're throwing a ball, you're looking right at him, and he's hitting a ball right at you.
There's no camera right in his eyes, is there?
I hope not.
So let's learn a little bit more about Ben. So what's favorite breakfast?
Favorite breakfast? There's several of them. I mean, this morning I got lucky. This morning I got up, and my wife took a leftover corned beef and made corned beef and eggs. And
Sounds like a good way to start the day.
yeah, and then she even threw in a thin bagel with cream cheese. You know, whoever invented the thin bagel is brilliant. Because I love bagels. I'm New York, I'm Jewish, you know, the whole thing. You gotta love a bagel. But somebody created the thin bagels. Have you seen them?
You mean the ones that are sliced really thin, like
Yeah, right.
They're almost like a potato chip, but a little thicker.
A little thicker. It's like a piece of toast. They turn it into like a skinnier than toast, but about toast. But imagine you get to eat a bagel without all the calories now.
There you go.
And you throw some cream cheese on there, you grab some great lox, and you know, that's a good breakfast for me.
See, you're going to learn something on DuPont Registry, Tampa Bay, every time we do these broadcasts. Have a thin bagel to save some calories. Okay, here we are in the most crowded, I think the most crowded county in Florida. So what's it like now getting to the beach, end of the day, beginning of the day?
Somebody let out the secret about the Bel Air Bridge. Why, and this is the first year I've ever sat in traffic on the Bel Air Bridge. Somebody told everybody about the Bel Air Bridge. Whoever that person is, we're going to find you. Because it took me a half an hour over the weekend to get over the Bel Air Bridge.
Everybody wants to go to the beach, you know. And
yeah, but let them keep going down to 60 and wait in traffic like everybody else. We live here. We don't deserve. We shouldn't have to sit in traffic.
You're going to have to go to the major networks and do a thing called Waze, because they're the ones that are telling them on the traffic reports that go down to the other bridge because the traffic's less.
Boy,
it's amazing, isn't it? There's a lot of people living here. How about the boat traffic? Have you been there long enough to see how many boats go by in the Gulf every day? Lots.
Yeah, a lot of boats out there. My old house was kind of cool because I go out on the patio and I'd see the pirate ship.
And you can hear him when he's talking? Because I can hear him in my house down the coast.
And they'd always go by my house and they always say, and somebody told me that somebody was on a tour, no, it wasn't the pirate ship, it was the big yellow one. Somebody was on that boat to his house.
Really?
And they stop and tell everybody that. They should be paying me for that, using my house for advertising. But yeah, there's a lot of boats out there, and you know, you definitely got to be safe when you're out there.
Okay, so an average week for Ben Mallah, you're going to go out and get up in the morning and go out and buy some properties and sell some properties. Is that the whole deal?
Every day I wake up looking for the next deal and underwriting deals, and that is going to hopefully have some value add to it. And I'm always under the gun. Excuse me. You know, I do a lot of 1031s. You know, I try to, you know, always defer the taxes.
Not everybody listening to this broadcast knows what a 1031 is.
You don't know what a 1031 is?
A like-kind exchange.
Exactly.
Basically, I'll swap you this property or these two properties for that one, or 3 for 1, or this one for that one, and I'll bet you come out ahead on each one, don't you?
Well, what we do is we defer all the capital gains from the sale of the property we're selling. And we defer the gains and we roll the money into the next deal. So basically, it's because of the 1031 that I actually was almost forced to do well in real estate. Because I've never taken the profits. I always roll them into the next deal. So the way that our capitalistic system is, am I allowed to say capitalistic these days?
Yes, indeed.
It's okay to be capitalist still, right?
Yes, indeed. Absolutely.
The way that our system is, the laws are written and the IRS rules are written, and is to help people grow and actually become successful, because you keep growing with the money that you made. You don't go out and spend it. You don't piss it away and pay your taxes. I say piss, okay, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
That's all right. For today, I'll let you buy.
I'm sorry, I
Wait a
said
minute,
that.
wait a
Oh,
minute.
we got water. All right,
I got
here
water
we
for you.
go.
Here we go.
Local water. Zephyr
got-
Hills. Zephyr Hills should pay you for this.
I'm making a note. One word. So I'm keeping track of
Keep
how
track
many.
how many words I shouldn't have said. But, you know, basically the 1031 is the way to go, because you can always refinance later. And when you borrow money from the bank, that's not taxable. So
But when you pay it back,
you're still not taxable, because you get a 1031 and roll into the next deal.
exactly.
I mean, that's the whole reason. Honestly, I believe, and I'm no expert, that's why Trump is not so eager to show his tax returns.
A lot of
Am I allowed to mention
1031
Trump on
exchange
this?
on that. Yeah, you can mention Trump. That's
I mean, basically,
That's one
you know, but
politician
listen, he didn't write the rules, and I'm not sticking up for the guy, I'm not taking sides, but he didn't write the rules. But the point is, the IRS has rules, and if you stick by the rules, and you play the game, which I played straight, hopefully he did, you don't pay a lot of tax, but you keep growing, which creates more jobs, and you create more, you know, I'll tell you honestly, I think we spend more than $1 million a year in Home Depot. And just think of all the workers that are using all those materials too that we're paying.
Yeah,
We have
well-
over 600 employees. I started from nothing. So the way the rules are written with the 1031 game to grow is, everybody benefits.
Yep, absolutely, you're absolutely
And
right.
I'm
The
always
whole-
looking for beat up properties to fix up, which helps the neighborhood.
That capitalist system is designed to create more business, more economy, more money in the marketplace in order to employ people, buy more properties, upgrade properties, and create everything. It's a genius way to help entrepreneurs like you reinvest in the community that they're in and make things better for everybody. And above all, as we know, every day we hear from the government, particularly in Florida, about create jobs, create jobs, create jobs. And there's been a lot of changes in the number of jobs out there in the last few years. So,
And they just came out with the whole, you get even more tax breaks if you go to an area that's depressed.
absolutely.
So, everybody knocks the system, but the system, if you play the rules, and you play the rules right, you play the game right, the system works. And it benefits everyone.
benefits everyone. So,
I started fixing up crack houses. Can I say crack on this too?
yeah, crack is okay.
Okay, we're not smoking it, we're just talking about it. I started fixing up crack houses and turning around places that were never, and made them decent places for families to live, low-income families. And you changed the whole block.
You can change a whole block when you go in and wipe out some of these houses that are inhabited by the worst elements of society. Move them on. Unfortunately, all we
Move
do
them
is
to
move them
Pasco.
someplace.
Can I say that?
No, I don't say that.
I'm sorry, Pasco. I told you that we
Now,
can't.
you mentioned the neighborhoods that aren't doing so well and how you help them
joke.
out. We clearly, I'm sure you're involved in some charities and some efforts in the area. You've got anybody you would like to work with, or anybody you'd like to mention as one of the best in the area?
There are, this is probably the most charitable place I've ever lived in my life. I've never seen so many people that have wealth and are successful that give away so much money to great charities. This area is very special. There's no area like this I've ever seen in my life. And I've kind of been around.
You've been around.
This is a very unique place. Next week we're going to do wine and wheels and planes and
Wings, wheels, wine.
there
Wings,
you go.
wheels.
Wings, wheels, and what?
Wine.
And we're bringing the Batmobile and a Rolls-Royce there to put on display. We did it last year. So we're bringing a different Batmobile and we're bringing a different Rolls-Royce.
And so that's for the ARC.
The ARC, a great
people- organization.
organization.
Fabulous organization. They've been here for a long, long time.
And they make a mean omelet once a year, I'll tell you that.
They certainly do. Anybody else? I mean,
Oh, the ARC, we got Clearwater for Youth. That was a great event we went to the other night. In fact, there were some Phillies there, and I thanked
Clearwater
them
for
for,
Youth is
the
involved.
house.
Police department's involved with
Once
that.
they paid for it.
And then you'll be ready next year for the Phil Dog and Arrow 3-bridge run, which is all for Clearwater for Youth. And when they
I'll
run
watch
out,
that one.
and they run all 3 bridges, you can get out in the front, and if they're hot, you just come in, tell them take a lap in the pool and keep going.
Can I use a Sedgway?
Sure.
There's a lot of great organizations here. The Aquarium is a great organization. They're really important. We went to an event for them last week.
Winter on the beach last week, right?
I think
so.
Yeah, right. It was at the Sand Pearl.
Yeah.
It was a great event. And then you get to buy all these cool things when you go to them because you never would, you buy, your money goes to a good cause. You get a great suite at a game, I think, and I actually took my son for his 12th birthday. We celebrated his 12th birthday at the Clearwater for Youth auction,
Really?
and I let him buy a suite at the Yankees training.
At Yankee Stadium, yeah, great choice.
training. That was his birthday present.
Baseball's just around the corner.
Yeah, I can't wait for football.
Football?
Yeah, you know why?
Why?
Because the shopping center right next to Raymond James.
Oh, you get
we
to charge for
$20
parking.
a car.
All right. Can I give you a piece of advice? Go to
Yes.
25 this year. You'll sell out still.
Then you have a lot of change and all that. $20, 20.
Well, make it 30 then. That's easier.
Thinking about making a guy. I actually have a guy that does the concession for me. Great guy. I wonder if he comes out there with those little machines they got now. You can swipe people's credit cards and all that.
You can do that. Now, the other thing to remember is not this year, but in 2021, we've got the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
So don't trade out that shopping center just yet.
Oh no, that shopping center. Actually, the retail is my kind of semi-plan for retirement. Because the retail doesn't require a lot of management. The hotels are nuts. The apartment buildings will drive you crazy. But the retail is a piece of cake. You know, you don't have to, you know, basically as long as the roof's not leaking and the parking lot's clean, that's it. You know, and somebody's running a business there, they send you a check once a month. You know, retail is actually a really way of having real estate and still kind of be retired. So I'm keeping all the retail.
We know a lot
How
about
about a hotel? I got a good deal for you.
A hotel?
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
Take your pick. Orlando, Daytona, Fort Lauderdale. But I'm keeping the ones around here.
Okay.
Well, for you, I'll sell one around here.
You would?
Yeah, I got one near the Tampa Airport.
1031 exchange. I've got a little piece of property up in Delaware. I'll give you. It's a single home.
No, you don't trade real estate in 1031s. You don't
Trade businesses.
No, I sell my real estate just like anybody else would. Regular deal. But the money at the closing goes to the exchanger, not me. I can't touch the money.
Gotcha.
Then I go out within 45 days and identify a bunch of properties that I plan on buying, and I have to close them within 6 months.
6 months.
But it has nothing to do with trading real estate.
Gotcha.
All I'm doing is giving somebody else my money to hold, and then when I go out and buy the next property, they take those funds and buy them. So
Seems
sorry,
simple,
I'm
ladies
not
and
trading
gentlemen.
it to Delaware.
Okay. Well, I got a
But
house.
sell it.
I can
And then
sell it?
Yeah, you can sell it, and then you can offset the gains by buying something from me.
Well, I'll call my partner. He's supposed to be in the
I got a
Arctic
great
Delaware
deal in
in
Sarasota on a senior affordable deal.
Sarasota. But that's a beautiful town and a growing town. Now, are you looking at any retail up in Pasco County? Because that's growing like a weed up there.
You know, I was just out there the other day. I didn't go as far as Pasco. I think I was in, what's the last city in Pinellas? Not Tarpon, but, you know,
Palm Harbor.
Palm Harbor area.
Yeah.
Retail's tricky right now. You gotta be really careful. Because if it's if it's a type of business that the internet is affecting, you can get in really deep trouble. You know, I turned down actually some really nice deals because I was afraid that they're not going to be able to withstand the Amazon and the whole internet thing.
Sure. Yeah.
So you got to be
A lot of
careful in
changes
retail.
in
You got to be
retail.
careful.
So let's come back to Ben Mallah again. Where do we go for vacation? Just home? Any
No,
spots
we
around
like
the
to
world
go
you
around. We
recommend?
like to, you know, honestly, we like to go down to the Bahamas a lot and charter boats. It's a lot better than owning them, and a lot cheaper. We'll go down and we'll cruise around all the different Bahamian islands on charters. We just came back from. My wife made me go to Dubai, of all places, for Christmas.
Dubai for Christmas.
Oh my God!
Did they have any Christmas trees there?
You're lucky. It's a good thing. I was afraid I'd have to call you up to get me out of jail or something there. That's a strange place. Have you ever been there?
No, I have no reason to go.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
It's a desert.
The desert was actually the only fun part about it. The desert was the highlight of the trip. It's the city that is very, very strange, very, very different. The way that we live. I felt like such a breath of fresh air when I got off the plane back in the United States.
Well, returning to the States, you always feel a little bit safer and you feel like you've landed on solid ground and it's home.
Yeah, we went to England during the summer. We get around. We did some trips to Germany. We like to travel, but I don't like to travel too long. You get in, okay, very nice, looks good. You see what they got there. Let's get back to America. You know, it's okay. I'm like a 3-day type person. You know, I can't be somewhere strange for
No
more
place
than 3
better
days.
than home,
No
especially when
place
you
better
live
than
on Bel Air Beach.
We live in heaven. We live in heaven. This is the closest you're going to find to heaven.
We're going to make you an ambassador for Bel Air and for Clearwater Beach and for Pinellas County because you've already said so many nice things about this neighborhood. And we should point out that this neighborhood has an extraordinary community all over Pinellas County. And we're very fortunate to have people like Ben Mallah who take care of those who are a little bit disadvantaged and don't have quite the leg up that those of us who are a little bit more fortunate. I've got a quote off a little plaque for you that I think that will make some sense to you because it's done by a fellow who was the janitor caretaker at a school in Wilmington, Delaware. I went to school. He died at a fairly young age, but he was everybody's best friend, Jimmy Lee. No matter what you would do, you come into school, Jimmy had a happy face on. He always wore his pressed uniform with Jimmy on it. And took care of everything. If there was a piece of trash on the floor, he'd pick it up, and then he'd remind you that it was your job to pick it up, not Jimmy. But when Jimmy passed away, they put a plaque up in the school, and they got plaques for all the guys who named buildings and all that kind of stuff. But the one that's important is Jimmy. And Jimmy's saying was to look up and not down, to look out and not in, to look forward and not back, and to lend a hand. Now that saying fits in this community because there's a lot of people who are moving forward, moving up, and doing well, and always reaching out and lending a hand when it's necessary. And that's a good mantra to live by, and it sounds like Ben Mallah has never left anybody behind that needed a hand.
I enjoy helping people, especially people that want to exceed in life or even try to get ahead, or if they're down. You know, we've done a lot locally for the seniors, you know, low-income seniors here, and we get a lot of personal satisfaction from helping them. You know, they're poor old people and don't have much family around, and, you know, living on a very limited income. So, you know, we enjoy helping them, and we enjoy participating in all the charities. I've learned from the other people in this area, like yourself. I haven't been to anywhere, I haven't seen the name DuPont, this building, the arts, the schools, everywhere. And we do appreciate it, everything you've done.
Well, you're very kind.
And I've learned from people like yourself and other families here that you got to take care of where you live. And, you know, and I can't believe the generosity and the kindness that I've seen from, you know, people who very wealthy and to do, and you know, they give so much. I have a playground with our name on it at school. But I'm working on, you know, always trying to help the community and help anybody.
Well,
and when you're close to these types of projects and charities that you help, when they're there right here in your neighborhood, you feel it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
that's
do
the
see
beauty of it.
results.
When, you know, when people stop and say, "Oh, thank you for the playground at the school," you know, you feel it. You see kids playing in it. You know, it's not like you're sending a check away to somebody you don't know where the money's going or whatever. When you help your own community, you actually see it and you feel it, which is really a big bonus.
Well, I know the community appreciates everything that you do for them, and everything that you do in business that starts the commerce wheel rolling to create more jobs and more commerce and value in our community. So we thank you very much for that. And Ben, we thank you for your time today. It's I know you're busy,
No, I'm not busy.
and for you to come by and
I took the
visit
day
with
off.
us and have some folks who watch our Facebook Live take a good look at what's going on and lend them a few secrets about life. And we enjoyed the visit. We hope you'll come back again soon, and we look forward to seeing you around town.
Well, I appreciate the invitation.
One last deal, we can't forget our heritage with the DuPont Registry Automobile Magazine. So what are we driving today?
Today we're driving a 2017, I never buy new, sorry, Rolls-Royce convertible Dawn.
How about that?
And it's pretty
Comfortable?
amazing. It's extremely comfortable. A guy like me, you need comfort. But I replaced it with the drop head. You know, they had the drop heads.
Yep.
And now they kind of came out with the Dawn. And it's a great car.
They're big.
It's big, it's powerful, and
it's
it's just
comfortable.
very well made. It's a great car.
So keep your eye out for the Rolls-Royce Dawn on the highways.
It's
around
white with a
Philadelphia.
red top.
All right. Thanks so much. And everybody out there, thank you for listening, dialing in, and spending some time with us on a Tuesday afternoon. We'll be back again next Tuesday with another visitor, and we look forward to seeing you then. In the meantime, go out and have a great day, Tampa Bay.